would it be wise to, when I meditate, just to do rampages and be in alignment without being on any specifics then? Would that be?
Well, meditation is a different function from our perspective than a rampage, because meditation is a process by which you quiet your mind, which allows your vibration to rise. Where a rampage is already recognizing that you're in that high flying place and then speaking more and more about it in order to cause the energy to move even faster and fuller, or for the purpose of becoming more specific. So if during meditation you begin to feel that sort of exhilaration, and if during meditation you begin to have some of these thoughts, then ride with them. But don't sit in meditation for the purpose of getting that going. Does that make sense to you? Don't use meditation to consciously overcome resistance. Don't use meditation to use your words to overcome resistance. Use meditation to quiet your mind to overcome resistance. Meditation is the quieting of mind. A rampage is an activating of mind. So all we're saying is, don't activate your mind unless you know for sure that you're flying high. Does that make sense? Sometimes people say, oh, I'm really in a bad place. I need to get a rampage going. Oh, life's really good for me. No, it isn't. I'm really in love with the person I live with. No, I'm not. This is just a beautiful person. No, you're not. You're ugly. In other words, because how you feel, if there's already momentum going, then when you try to do a rampage, all that's going to happen is you're going to dig in. The beliefs that you hold are going to contradict the new things that you want to say. And so that's why quieting your mind. Start on a new track with no engines pulling in any direction. That's what meditation will do. So this is a good analogy. So let's say that you are worked up about something. Maybe someone has hurt your feelings, or maybe they have betrayed you in some way, or maybe something's gone wrong with your physical experience in some way, and you are in a negative place. Lots of engines stacked up, going in the direction that you don't want to go. So you say, well, I need to think about this. Well, the more you think about it, the more engines you stack up. Or the more defensive you become, the more engines you stack up. The more justified you are, the more defensive you are, the more engines in opposition you stack up. So you sit to meditate and you quiet your mind. And at first, you have a hard time quieting your mind because you've got this big problem and it's just raging within you. But you manage to focus on your breathing a little bit. So in between your long breaths in and your longer breaths out, in between, breathing in, and out, 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 out. And then in, and then out, 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 out. In between that, you're still having thoughts about this wrongdoing that has happened to you. But the more you focus upon your breaths in and your breaths out and your breaths in and your breaths out, then one of the engines just stops pulling. And the longer you do it, then another engine just stops pulling. And the longer you do it, then another engine just stops pulling. And after about 15 minutes, now it might take you 13 of those 15 minutes to quiet your mind. But usually at the end of about 15 minutes, if you have really focused upon your breathing, all those contradictory thoughts will have subsided. And now you're on a neutral track. You're not being pulled in opposition to what you want. And as you stay in that place, maybe 5 minutes beyond that chilling out feeling, you may think, because now you're in the receptive mode, you may translate a vibration to a thought, to a positive thought, and you'll feel a little momentum. That feels better, you may think. This was a productive use of my time, you might think. I'm going to do this often, you think. Feels so good to relax. Maybe things are working out for me. sure do feel better. I like to be in a non-resistant place. I like thinking about things that feel good. I like remembering who I am. I like being the deliberate creator of my own experience. I like thoughts flowing that feel good. I like to see the best in others. Clunk. I sure feel better. I really like clearing my mind. I want to be the deliberate creator of my own experience. Clunk. I sure feel better. I like quieting my mind. I like knowing that all is well. Clunk. I like knowing that things are getting better. I like knowing that I'm the creator of my own reality. I like knowing that I can accomplish my point of attraction. I like knowing that I've put so many things in my vortex and that law of attraction is gathering them for me. I like being in the receptive mode. I like being tuned in and feeling the clues at the right time. I like good timing. I sure like being alive in my physical body. Now, that may be as far as you go in that 5 minutes, but oh boy, do you feel better. And you know what? You don't have to be in a state of meditation in order to continue that momentum. Now, you open your eyes, you're back in what you call your real world, and now, with just that little bit of releasing of resistance and that little bit of gaining momentum in the other direction, now your real life happening in real time, moment by moment, can begin to happen. You might have gone out into your car on your break or on your lunch break. You might be sitting out on a porch somewhere where no one else is around. And now you're stepping back into your normal environment, which caused that negative chaos to begin with. But now that negative chaos, it's different because the momentum of it has stopped. Now you are a new point of attraction walking back into the same space. And now aggravating people can't rendezvous with you. Now a whole different set of circumstances is potentially lined up for you. You see how it works? So let's recap just a little bit, because we want to together find that vibrational place that fits right with where you now are, because these are the ingredients that have accomplished this leading edge conversation. And we are appreciating a lot you being here. Not because you dragged yourself here, not because you thought you should be here, and not because somebody else dragged you here. We appreciate you being here because law of attraction brought you here. Your vibrational offering is the reason that you were an important component of this conversation. And there is no one in the room that was not an important part of this conversation. There are so many people that you are interacting with out in what you call your world, who are not deliberate about their creation. They are what we call creating by default. And by that we mean they are observing through their physical senses situations, and then they are having knee-jerk reactions to those situations. And sometimes, in fact often, in fact about more than 80% of the time, they're more than 90% of the time, about 95% of the time, their knee-jerk reactions are negative reactions. And what that means is they're observing and reacting in a way that cannot turn the tide on what they are observing. But here you are, what by Earth population standards would seem to be a small cluster of consciousness. Here you are, contemplating from your broader perspective. Here you are, realizing maybe for the first time the benefit of what all of that contrast provides for you. And here you are, like everybody else on the planet, creating a vortex, only you understand that your vortex exists. So you have an option that most people don't have. You have an option of looking forward to the unfolding of what you've put there, rather than being beat up by the reality that currently exists. Everyone on the planet stands on a platform that is really wonderful in that you have stability beyond your ability to even realize it. So much about your environment you don't have to worry about at all. And in that unnecessary or absence of worrying about the unnecessary things, you get to be on this leading edge where you get to create in the new environment, in the new way. Understanding vibration and understanding law of attraction gives you a skill set that only a small part of your civilization has stumbled on before. Just understanding that you are an extension of source energy and that the larger part of you still exists gives you an advantage, because you now understand that that larger part of you is active with you here today, which, if you will think about what we've talked about here today, means, or will give you a reason to understand how your guidance system works, what negative or positive emotion means. So you have, let's say, a vibrational advantage. You have the advantage of knowing that with a little bit of focus, that you can accomplish something energetically that will give you a leverage that will carry you far further than the majority of the population who is depending upon action to make things happen for themselves. So if you'll leave this gathering with this word in your mind, leverage, we're speaking for you, I am going to experience the leverage, the advantage, the power, utilizing the energy that creates worlds. I am going to do the energy work first, and then I'm going to follow my joyful impulse to the action that will demonstrate what I've created vibrationally and energetically. We're speaking for you still. I am no longer going to rely upon my action to fix things, to make things. My action will, from this point forward, be the way in which I enjoy the things that I've created through doing the energy work. My emotions mean everything to me, because my emotion is my indicator of my alignment with my power or not, my alignment with that leverage or not. When you move forward with negative emotion, you're out there on the raw and ragged edge on your own without any of the resources or any of the infinite intelligence or any of the advantages that you receive when you are in alignment. You just cannot get there from there. So as you watch the majority of the world scrambling around, squabbling over resources, worried about things through their action, but you step back a little bit from it and feel the power of clarity that meditation will bring you, the power of the energy that creates worlds that happiness will bring you. As you cater, and we're really using that word specifically, as you cater for just a little while to the emotions that feel good to you, you will practice a vibration that allows this energy that creates worlds to flow through you. And then what you're going to witness is an avalanche of thoughts turning to things in your experience, the likes of which you have not experienced before. You're going to discover the pent-up energy that you have not been allowing, because you've been focused upon things that have been pinching it off. So words like opening your valve or getting into the vortex or getting into the receiving mode, these are the words that are going to be of most importance to you in terms of what we teach. But the way you get there is, I'm feeling really happy today. Today is a really good day. I'm really looking forward to this. I really like that, or I really like that, or I really like that, or I really appreciate that, or I'm thankful for that. These are the key words and observations that will lead you consistently and profoundly to your power.